So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid that I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it. My bones, I'm coming for it, coming for it. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. Storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it. My bones, I'm coming for it, coming for it. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
There we go. We got rid of Clint. Hey guys, happy Monday. How's everybody doing? Welcome one and all. Hope you all had a blessed weekend. Welcome to the channel supporters. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the views over the weekend. Welcome to the haters. We love you too. Every view counts. Every comment counts. And much like other people, I don't have feelings, so it doesn't matter if you have a different opinion than me about any stock. This whole stock market is made up of people with different opinions. So here on this channel, we're going to hear out your questions, hear out your opinions. I might even give you a chance to call in or even come in live on your phone camera if you'd like to today, if we have time. All opinions welcome. You guys know I am bullish at the moment on GameStop. I told you when I bought back in June or so, and now we're up $4. Not too bad for a couple months. Big news, obviously, from last week is the announcement of those warrants, which were on T-22 today. They're going to be distributed by GameStop on or about October 7th, with the date of record, October 3rd. So make sure, you know, if you have any doubts about if you need to trim up your position, even it up to round lots of 10 if you want to get every possible warrant. If you're in a broker that maybe you're worried is not going to give you the warrants, you got, what, about 2 weeks to clean that up till October 3rd. And I think that there is also a possibility if you have your shares in a margin account and if they are loaned out, you might not get the warrants. I'm not going to make any definitive statements on that. Check with your broker if that situation describes you. Margin account with potentially your shares loaned out. And we have seen cases where people trade in a margin account because, you know, we're day traders. And they didn't know that their shares were being loaned out. So now is the time to cross all the T's, dot all the I's, check on all that stuff if the warrants matter to you. We are up, GameStop up 3% on the day, $25.70. Beautiful, beautiful. Chris's Concert Corner, good afternoon to you. Stale Yo-Yo. OTS Syntax, or Cymax, sorry. Contacts haven't quite kicked in. I'm just kidding. I don't have no contacts in today. Human Being 33, what did you miss? I don't know. When did you start paying attention? And we'll catch you up on what you missed. Doge Pound gang, good afternoon. Nice seeing you too. AK, how you doing? I know a lot of you guys had questions on the warrants. I tried to give you a no nonsense, no hype, no bias, just like, hey, laying it out. Here's what I see. And that resonated with a lot of y'all. I know there are a lot of people with some very high expectations, well beyond what I communicated to you. And that's fine. That's fine with me. Everybody can have their own opinion. But if you have been here on the channel for a while, we went through this same sort of conversation back around the time that the GameStop split happened. Do y'all remember that? All these people hyping up expectations and then boom, they got rug pulled. And I was telling you guys leading up into that stock split that these people hyping didn't really understand what was going on. They had hyped it as a dividend when it's just a split. And they still haven't let go of that thought now here years later. But this is a dividend. This is definitely a dividend. It's a warrant dividend with a $32 exercise price. So a little bit different scenario here. But the game has changed. The game has changed in the last 9 months, 6 months since GameStop brought in a bunch of new players, $4 billion worth of convertible bondholders who hold heavy sway over what happens with this ticker. And what do I mean by that? They have a massive amount of bonds that they are going to be gambling on every day, volatility trades. They're doing delta hedging. They're shorting a percentage of their bond position. They're shorting shares. If you aren't familiar with that, go watch any of my videos on the convertible bonds. Read the white paper that I posted in the video descriptions for you, so you can get caught up beyond the hopium and the nonsense pushed out on other channels. Get caught up really on how convertible bond traders think, because there's a lot of people that just don't want you to have the truth. They're going to tell you they're going to tell you that the bondholders aren't short. What if the bondholders aren't short? I mean, just absolute nonsense. They are short. Maybe not all of them, but a good percentage of them. How do we know? Well, you could look at what happened to the short interest on GameStop once they started selling those bonds, and go look at the short interest on Cinemark, ticker CNK. Their bonds, did you guys know Cinemark's been carrying 20% plus short interest, even though it's profitable in a growing box office? Because they had convertible bonds, and those bondholders hedge. They go short. It wasn't a bet against Cinemark. It's a hedge for their bond. And now what happened? Those bonds matured last month. And lo and behold, the short interest is evaporating on Cinemark in a big way. And I think on the next update, you'll see that the short interest goes down even more on Cinemark, because these bondholders got delivery of their shares, and now they're unwinding their hedge. It's not needed anymore. There's nothing different about GameStop. GameStop sold bonds because they could raise money. They could raise it at 0%. And the bondholders came in willing, because they love a good volatile ticker. That is a playground for them. They have all sorts of strategies where they can make money every day. They don't care if the price goes up or down. They're not betting on the price of GameStop. They are here for volatility. They have strategies to make money no matter what the price does. The thing that will send them away is if GameStop just flattens out. Oh man, my eyes. If GameStop flattens out and there's no volatility, you kind of lose the interest of the bond traders, and they have an option in 2028 to put the bonds back to GameStop. Hopefully, it's a long time between now and 2028, but that does hang out there. Hopefully the volatility remains, and GameStop gets use of that cash for the entire duration of the bonds until they mature. And hopefully, even more hopeful for me is that GameStop decides within the next year to do something with that cash and bump up the earnings per share on an annual basis. And then, we can really revalue GameStop. In an upcoming video, I'm going to, we got a new data point last week with the Q2 results. I've already gone through and added the data and the next two quarters projections to the calculator, my spreadsheet, and the DCF model. And I think, we can have a conversation now about, now that we have another good data point, how are my views changing? How are my valuation models changing for GameStop? It is going up. No surprise, because we had a good beat. GameStop is showing great work at reducing the SG&A. Revenues went up. That is good. So when I have time, I'll put together a video. There's no rush. Everybody's excited about the warrants right now. That is the talk of the day. So we'll get the revaluation video out when I have time. Hang on one second. Let me go grab my tea. We might spill some tea today. Hang on. All right. It's going to take a minute or two to steep, but we'll have something to drink if my mouth gets dry from talking here. Let's see what y'all got in the comments. Human Being saying, I came in on the countdown. All right. Well, you didn't miss much yet. You did not miss much yet, my friend. Doge Pound says, are the warrants like having an arrest warrant? I saw some of those memes today. That was cracking me up. It's nice that we're getting warrants for GameStop, but when are we going to see an arrest warrant for Kenny G? I do appreciate the humor. Chris says, Ape was complete dilution wrapped up in a fake bow tie. I mean, Chris, AMC made no secret that they needed in every quarterly update, in every risk statement, in every 10Q and every 10K. And even in communication from management, they made no secret that the box office was not going to be adequate to take care of their expenses, and that they were going to have a net loss, and that liquidity was becoming an issue. They needed a way to raise enough money to survive till today. You guys know, I hoped when Ape first came out, I had not really seen a preferred dividend. Wasn't exactly sure how it was going to play out, but we knew that at some point after they issued it, they made no secret that they were going to sell additional Ape, that it was a currency, and that it would be dilutive. When they issued it, it was not dilutive. It's the sale of Ape after that that was the dilution. And there's going to be more dilution still in AMC. They have not stopped telling us that the balance sheet needs repair. They're still telling you their primary concerns are repairing the balance sheet and ensuring adequate liquidity. There's going to be a proxy in October and a vote in December. And I think you will have the opportunity in one fashion or another to vote on more shares, because AMC is functionally out of shares and they still have balance sheet work they need to do. So that's all I'm going to say on AMC today. It's the same speech I've been giving y'all since November. Almost a year I've been having this talk with you about what is coming with AMC and why I exited the trade in November of 2024. I want to see what is on the proxy, and then I'll give you my next. What am I going to do now? Do I get back in? I got to see what they got up their sleeve. If we know something's coming, we don't need to be caught by surprise, all right? Maybe it's good news, maybe it's bad news. I can't tell you. I can't quantify the risk. So for me, not instructions for you, for me, the safe play is sit it out until you have more information. Doesn't mean that I won't get back in at some point, but I have no way to quantify the risk. Maybe there's zero risk. Maybe they'll ask for so much dilution that the price plummets 50%. I don't know. I'm just, everyone's guessing. So how do I know? Until we have something to talk about in October, it's just for me a wait and see. Jeffrey Jones, how are you? He says, would it make sense to buy lots of GameStop before the record date, then buy put 60 days out? I don't know about the, I don't know if I'm going to address the buying puts part, but let me dovetail off of the first part of your question there, Jeffrey, because some people asked me in the comments over the weekend, or they made comments over the weekend, that they were going to wait until GameStop was over 32 and then use all they're going to save up cash so they could exercise their warrants at $32. You know, that's how it works, right? You guys are smart. If you watch my channel, you already know this. They want to save up their money. Let's say they're going to have 100 warrants. They want to save up $3,200 to spend when the warrants can be exercised. And my question to you would be, if that is your plan, again, no instructions, but if you're telling me that is your plan, my question to you would be, why wouldn't you buy right now at $25 and pay $7 per share less. If you don't have the money, I get it. You need a few months to save up $3,200. I get it. But if you're just wrapping it up in a bow and saying that $3,200 I got is not being touched until I can exercise those warrants, I would say, what's stopping you today? If you believe in it that much that you're willing to buy shares at $32, what's stopping you today? I don't know if $25.65 is a great price for you today or not. That's up to you. I'm just saying, if you're one of the ones saying I'm going to buy at 32, what is stopping you today? You could save $7 per share. Chris says Ape was a lot different story than the GameStop warrants. Absolutely. Yes. Well, night and day difference, Chris. Anthony says, I'm set for retirement. I like to hear that, Anthony. I like to hear that. I'm checking some chat stuff up here. I'm still trying to get this chat highlighter to work. Let's see, Julian James. Is this today? He says, I can't hear you. My headphone broke. Can you type me in chat? I'm going to see if I can make this chat show up on the screen. Let's see. It worked. I've been trying to figure out how to freaking do this on Streamlabs for a long time, working with their tech support. The problem is I see all your chats in YouTube, and when I'm looking on my Streamlabs desktop, I only see one chat. So I don't think we're all the way there. Oh yeah, okay, I do see your chats. Let's see, Anthony, but it's not letting me pin all of them. Me trying to unpin. How do I unpin Anthony's chat? Clear pin. It won't go away. There it is. All right, I do see your other chats up in the dashboard, but only the most recent one is letting me pin it. So let me go grab a screen cap of that so I can send in one more troubleshooting ticket to Streamlabs, and maybe one day we'll get this to work. The idea is, to put up the chat so you guys can read them on the screen. You can see what question I'm answering. Like when I use Restream, screen cap, but I'd like to be able to do it in Streamlabs too, not just in Restream. I don't like paying for two tools. The other thing that I am going to play around with here is a feature that they have. If I know one of y'all, and you want to come on camera for a minute and test out the Collab cam here in Streamlabs, let me know, and we'll do a little dry run on that too. Well, it's not even a dry run, it's a live run. Only Shares says money goes directly to GameStop when exercising the warrant. That is correct. Another win-win, I guess, for everybody. If it is in the money enough for you to be in the profit, that's a win for you. And when you exercise the warrant, all of that money is going directly to GameStop instead of to some other random trader. And a lot of people, just an aside, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about AMC on this live stream, but a lot of people asked me in the comments this weekend, why doesn't AMC immediately do a warrant dividend also? They can't because they're out of shares, first of all. But even if they had shares, you got to have shares to issue, right? When someone exercises the warrant. I get it. I get the allure of a non-dilutive cash raise plan like warrant dividends. But the other reason AMC can't do it besides being out of shares is that the debt covenants don't allow it. AMC's debt covenants do not allow dividends, and that goes for warrant dividends unless the lenders granted some special exception, which, I mean, it could happen. Could happen. But technically not possible. Is it impossible? I guess if you had cooperation from enough of the lenders, I would say not impossible, but not anything I would count on. It'd be a nice surprise. A lot of people clamoring, you know, hey, we want to give you some money to pay off debt. Could be a way to do it. Chris says, Tony, can you explain it to me like I'm a golden retriever? I didn't get here, Chris, because I'm the smartest man in the room. If I bought 100 shares of GameStop today at $25.65, so many warrants, how many? I guess he's saying, how many warrants would I get? And what's the perk? I get it, Chris. Golden retrievers don't always hit the keyboard exactly correctly, but I catch your drift. If you bought 100 shares at $25.65 today, those would be cleared before October 3rd. Obviously, they'd be cleared by tomorrow. So you would get 10 additional warrants. It's one warrant for 10 shares. And if let's just guess that the warrants are going to start trading at $3 on October 7th. That would be $30 of value just based on time, 1 year till expiration. And then at any point, if the stock continues to move up closer to 32, the value of those warrants will increase. And once it goes over 32, the value of those warrants should increase dollar for dollar with the price of GameStop, just like it was a call option that went in the money. And, you know, I don't know if we'll get in the conversation today. It's a little early. But you should start thinking like, okay, start doing your own math. What happens if it goes to 40? What happens if it goes to 50? Do I have the money to exercise? What would I do if I exercised? Am I exercising to just get more shares? I'd say again, why aren't you buying shares today if you got the money to do that? Or are you exercising to immediately turn around and sell the shares for profit? In which case, I'd also say, have you considered just selling the warrants for profit if you got in that situation? You wouldn't even need to exercise unless you just wanted to give money to GameStop, which is fine, and then sell the shares. But easy peasy would be just sell the warrants. If you exercise, you got to have the cash, and I can't tell you that you'll get your shares in one day. That's a question for your broker. Could take days to get your shares. And what if the price momentum, if your sole objective was to lock in some gains because it ran up to 50 and you didn't think it was going to stay there, for example. If your sole objective is to capture the difference between 50 and 32, what if it takes you 4 days to get your shares when you submit the exercise instructions? Because then your broker's got to go to GameStop. Hey, we got to exercise. Can you send us the shares? They finally get them. They credit your account. What if that doesn't happen in a day, 2 days, 3 days? You could consider just selling the warrants. Bing, bang, boom. You got your profits locked in immediately. And it should be about the same profit. Might be different tax treatment. No, it shouldn't even be different tax treatment. They'd both be short-term gains. In those two scenarios, exercise, then immediately sell. or just sell the warrants. Both would be short-term gains. I don't know. There's a lot of things to think about. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not going to tell y'all how to game out what you do with the warrants. But it is time to start thinking about scenarios. Only Share says, and you need profits to give dividends. If we're thinking about a company like AMC, I mean, I'm going to say technically, yes. Technically with the asterisk. Yeah, I mean, if you're distributing a dividend, it should be because you're returning excess profits to shareholders. But a warrant dividend might be different. Only Shares, right? Because you're not distributing cash. You're distributing some value because the warrants have value. But I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Is it naughty to issue a warrant dividend if you don't have profits? If your stated objective is to be able to raise capital in a non-dilutive manner, maybe it's not as naughty as just returning cash when you need cash, like AMC needs cash. I don't want to see them returning cash with the cash dividend. I want them to use that cash to fix the balance sheet, to survive. Talk to me in a couple years when AMC is profitable, free cash flow positive, net income positive, excess profits, balance sheet is fixed. Talk to me then about a cash dividend. I don't want to hear nothing about an AMC cash dividend right now. I've said this before, and I will say it again. I think that would be extreme mismanagement. Baby UFO, aloha. You drinking coffee? I've got some, I don't know what my wife bought. Vanilla something herbal tea. Just to keep me from losing my voice. Anthony says, I wanted to buy calls on SoFi, but I decided to play it safe. I missed on big gains, but safe is better in the long run. Safe is better. Let's just take a quick look at SoFi. You know, this is one of those stocks that we talked about when it was super cheap here on this channel. People always say, Tony never gives you any plays. Boy, we talked about buying SoFi when it was $6.49. It's $27.63. I don't want to hear this nonsense from the mental midgets that we never give you plays. Good Lord. How many plays have we given you that have doubled, tripled, quadrupled in the last 4 years? I have lost count, ladies and gentlemen. I've lost count. But do the knuckleheads ever want to give us credit for those? No. I don't care. It just makes me laugh. Makes me laugh. When Scarlett and I are sitting around, popping a bottle of wine, pour a little glass, cheers to the knuckleheads and their fables. He's never given you a good play. Giving you a lot of good, safe plays. We talk about speculative tickers here too. And I am truly, truly sorry that I've had to ramp up the amount of warnings and disclaimers when we're talking about speculative tickers. I use that word so much, some of y'all are getting sick. But it's because of the knuckleheads that don't know how to manage risk, and then they want to blame somebody. They want to blame somebody. So look, a lot of stuff is not as speculative as I make it out to be, but I don't want these knuckleheads not taking ownership for their choices. Own your choices. Don't go looking to blame somebody on social media. I didn't push a button for you. I didn't not push a sell button for you. You did that. You did that. So just know, if you're one of my regular viewers and you're tired of the warnings and the word speculative, you can blame the knuckleheads. I got to go overboard. Read between the lines. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you know how to assess risk, manage your risk. I'm not talking to you. I'm not trying to scare you out of a play. I just got to talk down to the knuckleheads sometimes. The people that don't know how to manage risk. Someone asked me, should I? No, I'm not going to throw that guy under the bus. I had a couple knucklehead comments this weekend. What should I do with GameStop? I can't tell you, but I hope you know how to manage risk. That's all I'm going to say. Baby UFO Colombian Morning Blend. I am trying a Baby UFO. I am between coffee machines at the moment. So I have, for my morning coffee, I have some instant coffee while I decide what my next coffee maker will be. The other one just bit the dust. And I'm trying an instant espresso. And it's pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. But I already had that this morning. I don't want to be caffeinated up this late in the day. So I'm just going easy with the herbal tea at the moment. Nothing like a good Keurig. Have you been talking to my wife, Baby UFO? She wants a Keurig. And she don't even really drink that much coffee. She'll buy 50, 60 types of teas. Never seen her buy coffee one time, but if you have a Keurig, she'll probably try some. Chris's Concert Corner says, what do you consider a good buy ahead of the FOMC meeting this week? Just your opinion, no advice. Oh, man, Chris. I'm hesitating because my gut reaction is if there is a rate cut, that is generally bullish for equities. However, there are these people out there, you might have seen them, that say you just don't understand how bad things are, and you're failing to take into account the reason they're having to cut rates because things are so bad. I don't know. They're making me even question myself, Chris. What do I do? Let's look at gold and silver here, Chris, real quick. I haven't even checked. Gold and silver. GDXJ, this is our basket of junior mining gold stocks, up 1.5%. SILJ, a basket of silver junior mining stocks, up 3%. Why do I look at those baskets? Because I want to compare them to how Hycroft is doing to see if Hycroft is getting too big for its britches or not. Hycroft ran up to 675, you guys, on Friday. It's at 622 right now. I would love nothing more than to see my brothers and sisters that have believed in Hycroft. You guys know I've been very rough on Hycroft because I just call it like it is. I only swing trade it. I'm not holding a position at the moment. I got out too early. Tony says he always sells at the top. No, I don't. I got out. I made a good profit on Hycroft on the most recent swing. Left a lot of money on the table too. 675. Them's the breaks. But I don't cry over spilt milk. If I just can hit those first base runs over and over, lock in profits, I don't care. If you make it to second or third base, I'm going to cheer you all the way. I got my money. I'm happy. I'm looking for the next trade, the next opportunity. But Hycroft now trading at 621. And what I was going to say, I would love to see my fellow retail traders that believed in Hycroft. I'd love to see here in a couple months when they report that technical report that the report aligns with Eric Sprott's belief, the reason he's been adding so much money into that play. I'd love to see that thing go green and just shut a bunch of motherfuckers up. Now, I don't care because I don't own any Highcroft, but all of the people that have been blah, 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 failed mining it, I don't know what's going to be on the technical report. Maybe it will be a failed mine, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I'd love to see people eat 3 years of crow all in one big meal. Chris says, I'm hearing a lot about capital rotation events from large caps into small caps. I mean, large caps are getting... There is an argument that could be made that some of the large caps are getting overvalued if you look at valuations. The only thing, look, my crystal ball is not that good. Are we on the verge of continuing a run? Or is there a imminent correction because the economy sucks? If you don't know, then having a dollar cost averaging strategy and some diversification is a good way to overcome that risk. Just put in the same amount into your basket, into your ETFs. Hopefully y'all got some diversification. I mean, I'm not gonna come there and smack you in the face if you only own one stock, but I am going to say you have greatly elevated your risk. You've greatly elevated your potential reward too, if you are correct. But I like diversification. I'm too damn old to only own one stock. Because what if I'm not right? I got a family to think about. Can't be losing it all in your late 50s. No, you can't. You guys that are in your 20s, you got a lot of time. If you're gainfully employed, bringing in 6 figures, you got plenty of time to fix mistakes. Not old Tony D, running out of days. GameStop 2550 up 2.3%. Booyah. All right, let's do a little poll here. I am curious what you guys think. Let me type it in. Before 10:07. See a simple yes or no question. Do we think GameStop will hit $32 on bullish momentum before the distribution date of October 7th? Your honest opinion. There's no wrong answers. I can't see what you're voting. I have been looking at some other companies that did warrant dividends, and that will be the very next video that I put out, sharing some other comparisons. Now, there is no comparison to GameStop. I get it. Every company is different. Every warrant is different. Every company's fundamentals and financials are different. What's not different is what people were told on social media. You want to bet? Do you think people in these other tickers were told the same thing you're being told this week? You bet they were. You bet they were. Going to the moon. Shorts are scared. Synthetic warrants. I think you'll be intrigued to see how these other companies came out. I think you'll be curious. Baby UFO says, I think I get it now. The warrant dividend would make it expensive for a cheating broker. I went to the top of a mountain and thought about that question a lot this weekend, Baby UFO. Saw one of my good friends who has me blocked because he didn't like my AMC due diligence. He blocked me. Oh, how dare you have a different opinion, Tony? We will never share barbecue. You're never invited to Pflugerville. I saw my friend say, what if GameStop announces that all the 59 million warrants have been exercised and you still have a warrant in your account? What if? Well, what if pigs could fly? That was my first thought. Synthetic warrants. Is there going to be a little bit of slop, baby UFO? Yeah, there'll be a little bit of slop and some inefficiency, but there's going to be 59 million warrants issued and there will be 59 million exercised. And except for people maybe that didn't act quick enough before the last day, if you exercise a warrant, you're going to get your shares. And very unlikely that y'all are going to be millions of you with warrants when GameStop announces it's over. I did not see any evidence of that in any other ticker. Now, I get it. I get it. GameStop's different. We'll see. We'll see. I'd be happy to be wrong. Prove me wrong. GT, how you doing? Cheers, buddy. I wish I could do a shot with you. We're still on no drinking 2025 as we try and get the old waistline back in shape. I'm ready, though. I'm ready to have some evening cerveza with you guys. GT says, I blocked you one time. That's on me. Big old hand raised for accountability, GT. I do forgive you. Look, I'm an acquired taste, GT. Most people that end up loving this channel hated me at first. Even my wife hated me at first. I'm certain of it. I tease, but yeah, a lot of people don't like the message coming out of this channel because I frankly don't care enough to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I think based on my understanding of market dynamics and reading filings, and I get it. I'm not going with the social media narrative sometimes. But if I'm bullish on a ticker, I'm going to tell you I'm bullish on a ticker. Doesn't mean I'm going to tell you that I think it's going to $10,000. I try not to do that whole price target and date thing. If I'm bullish, I'm just going to say I'm bullish, and I'll tell you why. And then you do your own thing. And if I'm not bullish, or I think the fair value is well below the current price, I might share my DD with you on that. Doesn't mean I'll be right on that either. But most of the time we are. No one's correct 100% of the time. The closest we got to being correct is when I bet in 2024, I bet owning the float, y'all know him, that GameStop would see $10. And I did win that bet. It went to $9.95. And then things changed. The play changed. Roaring Kitty came back. GameStop raised money. I am never against shifting my analysis and my belief in a play based on changing information. I think that's the sign of an intelligent investor. Would you or would you not agree? Always be willing to change your mind based on new information. I encourage you guys to do that. Don't ever fall in this trap of, I made up my decision 4 years ago and I'm never changing my mind. That's a trap that will lose you money. Getting back to your comment, baby UFO. Will there be some brokers who have to give shareholders a placeholder for a warrant? I'm kind of dovetailing here off of your question, taking it in a slightly different direction. Could there be brokers that give you a placeholder? We know there's going to be some of these crappy little brokers that give you a payment in lieu of. And hopefully you're chasing that down if you're worried you might be in a broker that might do that. By the way, I saw in some of the other companies I was analyzing, Robinhood did credit the warrants in those other companies too. They had the same concerns. Robinhood doesn't handle warrants. They all got their warrants in these other companies. It's funny how people can recycle the questions but never go back and look for the answers. The answers are there. The answers are there. But I do think there will be a probability that some brokers might give you a placeholder, maybe because of a rehypothecated share. But there's going to be trading of the warrants. They can go get them at any time. There's not going to be a shortage of warrants, despite what you hear out there on social media. The bondholders, for example, are going to have 14 million. They don't need 14 million warrants. They need enough to deliver to their obligation of whatever they're short, which by my counts, maybe 4 or 5 million. There's going to be plenty, I think, of liquidity in the warrant trading. Now, I could be wrong. We'll find out in a couple weeks. Maybe everybody just diamond hands those warrants. But I expect there'll be plenty of liquidity. And if someone needs to pick them up to close out an IOU, should be easy enough to do. That's going to be my guess. Stay tuned. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm not. I don't ever try and tell you guys my answer is the only answer. But if I have an answer, I'm going to say it with conviction because that is my belief. Just recognize some things that I tell you are opinion. I have strong opinions. That's what pisses people off. But those opinions don't come out of nowhere. I've done a certain amount of research, enough to form an opinion. And if I have not done the research, I will just simply tell you I don't know. Chris says, is it safe to say at this point GameStop will run up before AMC does? I don't see anything in AMC's short-term horizon, Chris, to make AMC jump. All I see is right now what I know of potential yellow flags in the next 3 months. Proxy, the specter of a reverse split, maybe, I don't know. What if a vote in December? What if shareholders don't approve more shares? Oh, then they gotta, what? Do plan B, plan C? Do you want to hear what plan B and plan C are? No, you do not. What happens if shareholders in December say no more shares? Well, they are royally fucked. You want to know why AMC is being held down? There's the potential hanging out there that they could be royally fucked once again by their own shareholders. With the only thing that could potentially save them is massive box office in 2026, enough to the point where they have positive free cash flow and positive net income every quarter, and they don't burn their remaining cash. I think they want to have some shares on the side just in case shit. But what happens if they don't? So yeah, I think GameStop is more likely to have a run than AMC. Could AMC get a sympathy push up if GameStop starts running? Well, many of us believe in baskets of retail stocks, synced up algorithms, similar trading strategies, retail FOMO, trade following trade. Absolutely, AMC could follow GameStop if it starts moving. But the one that I think that has serious potential to move is GameStop. Because I believe in the float sold over 3 times? No. Because I am excited about the warrants? No. Because GameStop has $8.7 billion in cash. And they could drop an announcement today after hours. They could drop an announcement next week, next month, next year, that they've made some acquisition to fundamentally transform revenue and earnings. People are going to have to scramble immediately to figure out what that means. What if they leverage that money into some massive transformative acquisition? That's why I said this weekend, you might not be bullish enough on GameStop. It's still speculative. I get it. We need a couple more data points. I'm going to do a valuation update based on the most recent one, but they're on the right track. But no matter what happens with the next one or two data points, the next 1 or 2 quarters, that doesn't change the fact that they've got almost $9 billion of cash, which could be used or leveraged to 2-3x. Who knows? The only thing that I've been telling you guys that I want to see from GameStop is transformative earnings, EPS. So I can come to you in full confidence and say, this stock is fairly valued and it has room to run. Now, if they announce that news, you won't even have time. You won't even have time to read the damn press release. The computers will have already digested it and ran it up. That's the speculative bet that I like for GameStop, for me. There are plenty of haters. I see them out there that don't like Ryan Cohen. They don't think he's going to do anything smart with the money. That is not my narrative. That's not my belief. Ryan has shown very good management of a very difficult situation. He's righted the ship. What do you call it when you're in a regatta and you hit that final buoy and you turn? He's hit the final buoy. I think he's on the up track now. There's relative safety in GameStop. What is the best buy-in price? I still like mine, $21. It would have been better if I would have held. No, it wouldn't have been better. I bought on that run up in 2024, but I sold at 60 and 48. So I'm still okay. I'm still okay with selling back then in that other run up. I'm in now at 21.61 and I'm okay with that. I feel like it's relatively safe. And my bet is on Ryan Cohen doing something smart with that money. James says, why do you think they're not letting any IPOs out of Hong Kong? There is a big push right now, James, to investigate Chinese pump and dumps. You know the ones we're talking about. We've played some of them on this channel from time to time. Massive, massive pumps on no news. It's the Chinese pump and dump little telephone. Where do they message? Telegram chat room farms. They're running these stocks up and then they're cashing out and they're leaving a lot of people who didn't know better to sell to hang out to dry. And the SEC is really going after that now. And I've seen in the past some of the exchanges put a temporary halt on Chinese IPOs, but now the SEC is involved. Baby UFO says Ryan is not a billionaire for being dumb. Yes, Baby UFO. I really don't get it. I don't get it. The people that have this unabetted hatred for Ryan Cohen. Now, I can understand if you were buying calls when GameStop was running up to 60 and then he diluted, I could understand you being mad, but don't be mad at Ryan Cohen. You took a very speculative bet, assuming certain things, and you didn't watch my videos called the CEO Handbook. 2 videos. Go watch them. Learn to think like a CEO. When you need money and your price is running up, what is the thing that they're most likely to do? Help retail get a short squeeze? Fuck no. That's what you thought. They don't care about that. They're going to make sure the company is on good footing, and they're going to raise some money. So I could understand you being mad at Ryan, but that is misguided anger in my opinion. The other people that just hate him, they say they don't even trade the stock, that he's tricking people, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't know that he's tricking people. He's being a CEO. It's up to us to be intelligent when we buy. He's not tricking anybody. He's doing what any CEO would do. Up to you to be smart when you buy. And up to you to learn to anticipate what companies are likely to do. All right, let's see what you guys said in the poll here. Do we think GameStop will hit 32 on bullish momentum before 10:07? 66% of you said yes. I tend to agree. I think it has a greater possibility than not to get a push up. And then I see the bear channels, you know, the ones on Reddit. Oh, what these GameStop investors don't realize, as soon as it goes to 31, the convertible bondholders are going to dilute. They're going to trade in their bonds for shares. No, they are not. They're not. The float might be adjusted in the market's mind as if dilution happened, but convertible bondholders are not going to dilute. They're not going to take shares just because it ran up to 31, 32, probably not even 35, 40. I don't think so. But they have 5 years till maturity. I'm just going to stick by the DD I've been sharing y'all. Convertible bondholders typically do not convert bonds early until very close to maturity. And again, if you've never been here before, go look at Cinemark. Their stock was trading for the last year at 2x the bond conversion price. How many converted? 0. 0 converted until maturity last month. That's how bondholders do. I'm not saying that because I'm smart. I'm not saying that because I'm an expert. I'm telling you, I talk to bond traders and then I do my own work and I double check what they told me. And everything that I have, almost no instances that I could tell you. You would have to tell me, but Tony, you don't understand. GameStop's different. That's your only out. That's a very weak leg to stand on. It's not different. There's not going to be any early conversion of bonds unless GameStop forces the conversion. GameStop could do it, and they very well might. If it runs up to the point where GameStop could force conversion, if that suits their strategy for their financial engineering, the buzzword of the week, then they very well could force early conversion. There's a certain point, certain trigger price where GameStop can force conversion. That could happen, yeah. Bondholders converting early because it runs over 32, because they want those shares, like the pumper channels tell you. I say horse shit. I say horse shit. You're lying. You are lying to your audience. because it sounds good, but you are wrong. What time is it, ladies and gentlemen? 2:08. We got 52 minutes to market close. 25.54. Let's spark one up here. What do you say? Where's my lighter? Here we go. Anybody want to come on camera and try out the Collab cam? I'm still going to have the occasional cigar with you guys, even though I'm not drinking this year. I'm still going to have the occasional cigar with you because I enjoy it. But I'm going to tell you this so you guys can help keep me accountable. About 4 days ago, made a decision to quit the vaping. I don't have a cigar every day, just once a week when I'm live with you guys. But the vape was a crutch to stop doing hookah, which is horrible for your lungs. And that worked. We stopped doing hookah. And we've been doing the vape now for quite some time. But I didn't grow up a smoker. But that damn stuff is addictive. I'm about 4 days into quitting. We'll see how it goes over the next couple months. Feel free to yell at me if you see me vaping on camera. I'm going to ask for your indulgence if I pop the occasional cigar, though. Ronald, thank you for that. Ronald reminding us the conversion threshold is around $38, $39 for the 2 bonds. Yes, those are the prices at which GameStop could force conversion. And it would not surprise me. Would not surprise me one bit for GameStop to force conversion. I'm telling you, I am 99% certain the bondholders will not convert early. I'm also 75% certain GameStop is likely to force earlier conversion if they were given an opportunity, because that wipes the debt off their books. And if the price runs up to $38, are you going to care if you get 100, 150 million shares in dilution? Probably not. Yeah, it'll knock the price down a little bit, but I mean, you're sitting pretty good at that point. Chris says, I picked up some more GameStop today, feeling lucky. Who else bought some today? I don't like averaging up. But we still got this comment type. Why is that Streamlabs comment highlighted? I didn't do that. I'll just turn that off. We know that the chat highlight works now. It's not working quite 100%, but at least we can get a chat up on the screen. Dan Yolo Ono. Hello, Governor. Top of the morning to you. Put another shrimp on the barbie, mate. Michael said, what made GameStop up after being down last week? Yeah, let's zoom in here, Michael. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of that question. On the daily, we had earnings right here. on 9/9. A couple days later, we had the announcement about, no, we had the announcement about the bonds the same day, right? I mean, why is it up? The earnings were way above people's expectations. Revenue way above people's expectations. Blew it out of the water. And they announced warrants, which when you have a heavy retail owned ticker, retail wants to interpret that as bullish. As Adam Aaron told people, you want those shares, don't you? I'll never forget that story. When Mediocre met him in Boston at one of the meet and greets, and he was asking him about Ape. He was like, you want those shares, don't you? Retail wants those shares for some reason. They want to pay $32. I mean, I'd want to pay $25.58 if I had the money sitting around ready to go and willing in GameStop. Why wait for 32? Buy today, like my boy who just said that. Chris. He sees the wisdom. Now, I don't know, I can't tell you if GameStop will go down after today, Chris, but if you're contemplating buying today at 25.21 or in a month at 32, if it goes up, why would you wait? Just saying. Hey, Yellow Ono, did I guess correctly? You told me you posted a vague photo or meme or something, and I said Nashville is lovely this time of year. Did I guess it correctly? You just did a LOL back or a smiley face, and you never confirmed if my guess was good or not. Dumb Money Ninja wants to know, are the shorts fucked? I'm going to tell you the same thing I said on my video this weekend, Dumb Money Ninja. Go watch that one. At the very end, item number 4 on the list of what we covered. From the data I have, there's 66 million or so shares short on GameStop as of 8:30, or is it 8:15? And I'm sure that number is going up as the price of GameStop goes up. Let's see. As of 8:29, 66 million shares short. And by my best guess, about 40 million of those are bondholders hedging their bonds. So we got about, again, by my best guess, I could be wrong, about 26 million shorts betting against the company. The rest are just bondholders hedging their bonds, and they're going to get delivery of warrants. So for them, this is a non-event. The question then becomes, if we think that 26 million shorts are just betting against the company and are not going to get a warrant, but they're going to have an obligation to deliver a warrant, are they scared? Let's use my number that I've been throwing around for the last 3 days. Let's say the warrants start trading in October at $3. That means they're on the hook for 30 cents per share. $3 divided by 10. Do you think, I'm just going to put the question back to you, Dumb Money, Mr. Ninja, the venerable ninja. Do you think they're worried about 30 cents per share? That's the question. Nobody else is going to phrase it to you like that, are they? Because it's an inconvenient fact. They got to tell you a bunch of stories. that they have no data on. We all have certain theories, right? I like those theories too, many of them. But they got to tell you the float sold 5 times over. They got to tell you no bondholders are short. Only the longs that bought the bonds. They got to just make stuff up that they have no evidence of. I have evidence that bondholders go short the underlying ticker. If you want to believe people that are pushing hopium theories with no evidence, hey, I'm not here to talk you out of it. If you ask my opinion, like Mr. Ninja did, I'm just going to ask you, do you think they're worried about an obligation of 30 cents per share? And we'll all find out in T-22. Was Tony DeNaro just puffing smoke? Was he blowing smoke? Is he a shill? Does he hate GameStop? Or is he trying to be as ruthlessly honest with you as possible about what he sees and what he expects? I can assure you it is the latter. I don't care about views. I don't care about subs. Not here to hold your hand and tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what I see in this trade. I hope to earn your subscription because you like truth. Maybe I don't earn it today. Maybe you got to wait 3 weeks. Moik says, what are we waiting to happen at close? Nothing. Not waiting on anything. I'm just hanging out with you guys, having a good time. We're going to wrap this up around market close. As I said on my weekend video, it would be cool with me if at any day, any point, GameStop has some more news. Special news, acquisition. Dun, dun, dun. Then I think you see this thing get the kick in the pants it needs to push up. We got some resistance up there. Look at that supply zone that I have up there. We need a catalyst to push us through that. Roaring Kitty coming back, I'd take that. Ryan Cohen having some news, I'd take that. Acquisition, use of cash. Any of those things could happen any day, my friends. Wild Wendell says that's a good response. Makes you scratch your head. You would think Cohen has something going on. If he didn't, why? If he didn't think it would get past 32, why would he offer otherwise? I actually do agree with you. Don't ever construe. I know the hater channels will twist my words, but I want you to hear very clearly what I'm telling you. I think that $32 was picked for a reason because it is achievable. I don't know on what time frame, but I do think that it will be tied to some announcement from GameStop. That is my bet. I can't tell you that I'm going to be right. Sorry, I got to do all these disclaimers, but you know, the people that want to blame you if you weren't correct. My belief is they have something cooking. My belief is when that is announced, it will be enough to push it over 32. How high? I don't know. My belief is retail will fall all over themselves to exercise those warrants and hand almost $2 more billion to GameStop. Those are my beliefs at the moment. Until I have some evidence otherwise. You can have a different opinion. That's okay if you don't believe any of that. I see the Meltdown channel. They don't believe any of that. Doesn't matter to me. I think GameStop wants to raise $1.9 billion. I think they want your money. I think they want $11 billion instead of 8.7. If we add in Bitcoin, 9.3, 9 point, what, 11 point something. They'd love to have that. So my best guess is they have something cooking. I just don't know on what timeline we find out. And even if they don't announce anything before October, I still think just FOMO alone could inch this thing up close to $30. We got 22 calendar days. I love it. Let's see what Narwhal has. Dan says you will laugh at my DM. All right. I don't have Discord open at the moment, Dan. Trader RW says, what is your 1-year price target and 5-year price target? If you haven't answered this question recently. I did not answer it in detail, Trader RW, although I did say at the beginning of this broadcast that based on the new data point we got with the Q2 earnings, I have updated my calculator and my discounted cash flow model, and I am prepared to go over those with you guys in detail in an upcoming video, and we'll talk about that stuff. I haven't thought about a 5-year price target yet, but I can tell you what I think about for the next 12 months for sure. I will just say, if you watched any of my discounted cash flow or some of the parts valuation videos, we made certain assumptions, and the output of those models is dependent on your inputs, your assumptions. And it's okay for all of you to have different assumptions than me. I was only doing those videos to give you some idea of how the analyst is looking at this play, because I get tired of hearing the crybabies. I don't understand why they're not giving it value. How do they possibly get a $13.50 price target? I showed you how. Doesn't mean that they're right. They clearly were not right. Doesn't mean that it's my price target. Or if I had a $13.50 price target, why would I be buying at $21? Don't let these knuckleheads on other YouTube channels lie to you about what I'm telling you. I provided you those videos to get you in the head of an analyst who's running a DCF model. Very reasonable outputs if he was a little bit bearish on his inputs. But we have new data, and we have, I think, even some maybe more bullish assumptions to make based on this data point plus Q1. Q2 validated some things we saw in Q1 and improved on them. It's okay now, I think, reasonably safe to increase our assumptions for Q3 and Q4. I think it is reasonable to do that. And so I have some better DCF stuff to go over with you guys in a upcoming video. I don't just like throwing a price out there. I mean, all the pumper channels do that every day, just make up numbers. I like to show you a spreadsheet, a calculation, a valuation calculation based on actual finance formulas, so that then I can back up what I'm saying. And I'm not just pumping out some made up number to get you excited and get your clicks and views. That's what the pumper GameStop channels do. It's going to 100, it's going to 1,000. Rockets incoming. My number might not be as exciting, but it is backed up with math and reasonable analysis. And it is better than the video I did a month or two ago, for sure. Richie Rich got spanked by the bot. Let me see what happened, Richie Rich. I can still see your old message here. He says, I'm wondering how much of this early run-up of GameStop can be attributed to increasing the option premium. On GameStop, if GameStop goes close to or below 25 by the end of the week. That I don't know. I'm not that smart, Richie. Remember, if I don't know, I'm just going to tell you I don't know. Anthony says, people need to learn to think by themselves. You know, for a lot of people, Anthony, it's just easier for someone to tell them what to think. I don't want those on this channel. I'm not a cult leader. I want to teach you how to analyze, how to think independently, how to weigh both sides without shutting down the other side. The other side might have some valuable things for you to think about. I try and do that on every ticker, every week. Is my belief still the same? Is my DD still valid? Did I miss something? If I missed something, who's the most likely to point it out? Everyone else who's on the train with me, or somebody who's throwing rocks at the train? I just want to hear what that guy throwing rocks has to say. Maybe I analyze what he said and nah, he's just a hater. Or maybe I analyze it and say, you know what? That's a risk I didn't think about. I'll just add that on my con list. I've got my own pro list. And I'll keep track of that. I think that's being a reasonable investor. Too many people out there on social media land want to block. Don't listen to that guy. He hates GameStop. All this nonsense from these knuckleheads. I will block you if you're a doxer, a liar, pathological liar, someone who spends your day insulting people instead of talking about due diligence. I'll block you. I don't need negative people, but you can have a different opinion. You'll never get blocked. I only want to deal with the adults in the room. We're not here at the children's table. Adults often have different opinions. That is cool with me. Have a different opinion. Agree with me, don't agree with me, I don't care. We'll have a discussion. It's how we all learn. But once you cross the line and show me you act like a 5-year-old, you know, a bunch of clowns out there. Getting back to the chart here just for a second before we get too close to the end of the day. 2:30 my time, 3:30 New York time. You can see here this second supply zone. We are cleanly broken through it. Very good sign. In fact, if we stay above it this week, I'll probably flip that supply zone into a new demand zone. That often happens when if you're a supply demand zone trader. You guys know what I'm talking about. Your supply zones often flip to become support and demand zones. We would want to see on the daily or on the weekly this week that we cleanly stay above this zone all week. It's okay if we bounce down to it as long as we bounce back up. The next thing that I would like to see for a bullish signal on the daily is a breakthrough of this 200. And it is at $26. Pretty damn close. You could get a good little push up if you can break through 26, I think. But it will also try to act as resistance. You know how it works. Bang, 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 and you either get rejected or you soar through it. We will see. I think many of us, myself included, are optimistic that in the next 22 days, we get a push through that. We will see. I can't make you any promises. Michael says, what do you think Jerry P will do, Mr. Powell? I think that there will be rate cuts. I don't know how much. Letitia, how you doing? It's my understanding that whoever is loaning out the shares doesn't get the warrants. That is correct, unless you're a convertible bondholder, which is, in my opinion, the bulk of the shorts, at least 2/3 of them. And GameStop will be giving them warrants. Now, they'll have an obligation to hand those warrants over, but they're not going to have to scramble to find them. They're getting them from GameStop. You can go read the warrant FAQ, and you know that the bondholders are getting 14 million warrants. They'll have more than enough. They probably only need 4 million. It's the other shorts, the other 26 million or so. They will have an obligation of about, by my math, again, if the warrant is worth $3, they will have an obligation of 30 cents per share. 30 cents times 10. Do you think that they're nervous over 30 cents? That is the question. There are some ways they will have to deliver the warrants, without a doubt, right? They could go buy them on the open market. You might see some interesting volume and price action on the warrants if that is happening. If some shorts are needing to go out there and buy them, you could see the warrants trade up. Or, depending on their lending agreement from the person they borrowed the shares from, the lender might just accept cash in lieu of a warrant delivery. It is possible. So I'm not making any of these sweeping social media predictions that the shorts are fucked. I don't know. They always got a way out. I just laid out to you several things that I'm looking at that tell me they're not really fucked. Most of them are going to get warrants from GameStop. The rest have an obligation of around 30 cents per share. It's not exactly bank-breaking numbers. Be cool with me if we get a little price action, a little FOMO push up to 32 and make some of those effers close. Some of them might just not want to deal with it, right? You guys know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Some of them might not want to deal with it. Oh, we got to go find warrants, or we're going to have to pay cash. They might just close out their short until October 7th and then come back in. We could get some price momentum from that. That'd be cool. Again, I think it is more likely than not that the price will go up for various reasons between now and October 7th. Yolo Ono says shorts play both sides. And what else do we know about them, Dan? I want to see what else. Let's see who took their smart pills this morning. What else do we know about shorts? They play both sides. I want at least 2 other guesses. Wild Wendell, what's up? He says, I agree with you. I think something going to happen just before the warrants. Yes. I bet we'll see what happens in the same page. Just my opinion. I like your opinion, Wendell. Ultra Ape coming in heavy with a correct answer. Let me see if I got a, there we go. Huh. I got a little bit of delay on my sound effects. Sorry about that. Yes, they hedge. That's one thing we know about the shorts. If you think that they are going to wait till October 7th, and this is just going to, whoopsie, catch them by surprise, like all the pumper channels are telling you, whoopsie, how did we not see this coming? We are fucked, boys. God damn. They hedge. They know this is coming. There is zero reason for me to tell you that they don't have time to get their books straight. Which ties into the second thing that I want you to remember about shorts. They are not irrational. Everybody wants you to think they are irrational. Some of them are stupid. Melvin Capital 2021. But they have become smarter. They understand the volatility and the risk here. They understand GameStop's got $9 billion in cash. They understand that Roaring Kitty could come back at any moment and send this thing up $10, $20, $40. It's happened already in the last year. They understand that. They're not stupid. They're not irrational. They're not irrational, and they hedge. And they have time. They have time to figure out what to do. So I cannot, in good faith, come on here every day and tell you these shorts are fucked. What I will tell you is use common sense. Place your bets if you want. I'm not going to try and talk you out of doing anything. I think the price is going to go up between now and October 7th, but use some intelligence in your risk management. Don't. Hey, if all you want to do is listen to the pumper channels and go all in, I say God bless, and I hope you're right, and I hope they're right. I always want to see people win, but I cannot in good conscience sit here every day for the next 22 days and tell you that, and then it runs up to 31 and then goes back down to 25 and you get fucked. I don't want that on my conscience. A lot of the pumpers have no qualms about telling you that. They'll wake up and act like nothing ever happened. Kenneth, how you doing? He says, is it best to add more GameStop now or wait to see which direction it moves then buy? I don't know which direction it's going to move, Kenneth. I don't know. My guess for me is that it will likely go up as we approach October 7th. That is my guess. I don't know that for sure. We got a 200 moving average at $26, which is going to act as some resistance. So keep an eye on that. It's right there on your screen, that purple line. If we can break through that, beautiful. Next stop is up there around 33 bucks, right? Imagine that. Right around where the exercise price is. Do you think that's a coincidence? The chat that I had with someone earlier today is if you're saving up money to buy shares at $32 when you exercise, or you got cash just sitting aside, and you are telling us that As soon as I can exercise, I'm spending that $3,200. I'm sending my check in to GameStop. I would ask you, why do you hate your money? Why do you hate your money? I mean, you could literally buy the same amount of shares for $25.66 right now. If your belief is, I'm going to wait till $32 to buy, why do you hate your money? Yes, I am. Just saying. "16 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at a couple of other tickers here real quick before we wrap up the day. Tesla's been having a good day. It was up as much as 5% today. Let me know in the chat if any of y'all are Tesla traders. We love to talk about it. I'd love to talk about Tesla every day if I knew more people cared, besides the occasional folks in my Discord. Meme stocks, we got Open. That is one, not that I'm pushing out on you, but it's had a beautiful run. It's trading at $9.44, up 4% today. A lot of retail traders got eyeballs on that one. GNS, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it was all I could do not to comment all weekend on the insane pumping going on Genius Group. Oh, these people make me so mad. We got a lawsuit. We got a lawsuit against the shorts. We got, they changed up some options from 2023. ERL's coming back. They're going to fold it back in. The company just bought back 1 million shares. They own 200 Bitcoin. Talk to me about the financials. Oh, you don't want to talk about that? Why? Why not? Do you want to talk about how many shares the float is going to go up when ERL comes back? No, you don't want to talk about that either. Huh. Just put in the ticker symbol GNS and look at the tweets over this weekend. You're going to be like, you're reliving 2021 AMC and GameStop all over again. People totally disconnected from reality. Down 8% on the day, despite the massive attempts from the bot accounts and the pumpers. AMC up 3.3% today. Not too bad. Not too bad. Massive box office from Demon Slayer this weekend. I might do an AMC update video. Nothing's really changed on my thoughts since the last weeks. I'm only talking about AMC once a week. Really not much to say until we see the proxy in October. Whoops. IMAX is up 1%. Cinemark up 0.5%. Dolby up 0.5%. Our daily runners of the day, anything interesting? No, they all popped in pre-market and then they've been heading down. These are just daily runners. And we're going to wrap up by looking at gold and silver one last time. Hycroft down about 3%, and all of the other gold and silver baskets are up. So that tells me that maybe Hycroft got a little bit overvalued. People are taking off profits. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right, y'all got about 10 minutes to get your last questions in. Nobody wants to try the Collab cam today, huh? Dan, do you want to come on camera for a minute? Be the guinea pig? Dan is a famous TikToker, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. World famous. Hector, what's up, amigo? He says, if you want to buy your warrants, you have to do so by October 3rd. Not exactly, Hector. October 3rd is the record date for people that hold GameStop shares. So, however many shares you own on October 3rd, divide by 10, no rounding down. If you own 1,000 shares on October 3rd, you will be due to receive on October 7th 100 warrants. Then after that, you can go buy more warrants if you want. They'll be available to trade if you wish to purchase more. That's your choice. The ticker symbol on the NYSE will be GMEWS. All right, Dan, let me see if I can shoot you an invite here. Hang on one second for the Collab cam. We're doing a test here. I got to figure out where the link is again. Collab cam. All right, Dan, try this link out. Let's see if this works. I don't even know what buttons to click on, Dan, so let me know if you're supposed to pop up in my back room here on Streamlabs. But Michael says KR, I think, beat and raise that I was thinking would match up after earnings in a one-pop wonder. What is KR? Oh, Kroger. Not everybody knows what Kroger is, Michael. Only available in select states. They've had a nice little run there. Here in Texas, we don't really have Kroger. We have HEB. But I am aware of Kroger. I have shopped at them in other states before. Dan, drop us a chat if you get in, if that link works for you. I see a lot of people saying that they plan to buy a bunch of warrants once they start trading. It's an interesting gamble if you want to do that. I don't have any. I'm not going to tell you don't do it. If the price of the stock goes up, those warrants are going to increase in value. That's your own personal bet, and we'll see what happens. Just keep in mind, as every day goes by, they'll lose a little bit of time value. So we need a news or some real momentum to get this thing going, to get your warrants in the money, or even just, to go up 10, 20, 50% if you want to just trade them. Michael says, what do you get has a dividend from GameStop? Did I hear so different things? All right, Dan says he is in the Collab cam. Let me see if I can find you, Dan. It didn't pop up. All right, I see you. I had to open up. Now let's see if I click on show on stream if you show up. There he is.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right, my governor.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the afternoon evening. How you doing?
What time is it over there in the UK? You're looking at about 9 o'clock p.m.?
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock.
Well, I appreciate you staying up late for us, Dan.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I've been doing my TikTok stuff and being world famous. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and come back.
Let me know, guys, since this is our first time for me to try this Collab cam on Streamlabs, is there any echo like we have to deal with sometimes on Restream? I'm just curious. We're testing it out here live with you guys. First time ever.
Yeah, I can't see it on YouTube.
You can't see it on YouTube.
Oh, I
Okay.
can now. Hello.
Maybe just the delay.
Yeah, it's a big delay.
Fucking delay. What do you think about this whole GameStop warrant thing, Dan?
I don't know. I need to know more about it because I've got some GameStop shares and I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, I think it's a good thing, isn't it?
Well, hopefully.
I need to work on my Manchester accent, Dan.
Manchester.
What's the one that they all have in Peaky Blinders?
Oh, Birmingham.
Which one?
Birmingham.
Birmingham?
Birmingham. That's the second largest city in the UK.
Okay.
It's like Birmingham.
All right. Well, I need to work on that one. We didn't go over that.
Even I can't do it.
In my accent classes back in acting school, we didn't go over that particular accent, Dan. I did go to a accent class. They said, Tony, you need to learn how to speak English first. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know there was prerequisites, Dan.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm teaching Canadians how to speak English because they're all French over there.
Yeah, by the way, just to clarify, I always give Dan a hard time. He is not Australian. He's over there in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah, we're having good times over here at the minute.
Did you guys have... Oh, I don't want to get into politics.
I know. Don't worry.
We'll save it. We'll save it for the Discord.
Yeah.
I don't want to even go down that path because I'm still really... I was upset last week. I wanted to live stream and do some more videos. I was just kind of heartbroken about last week. I had no mental energy.
It's all
So
right. It's all right.
let's not go into that today.
Yeah. Social media can get you sometimes. It can drain you.
Yep. Gabe L. Is it Gabe? He says, is something special happening today? No, I just thought it'd be cool to hang out with you guys every day until the warrants hit. 22 days. Let's go live every day for an hour or two as my schedule permits and just see what happens. I think something's going to pop off, Dan.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not saying to $100 or 50 pop off, but I think we could see a little slow incremental push up to 30, 32, maybe.
Yeah, it's not the same as it was before, back 2 or 3, 4 years ago. But again, there's still money to be made if you're smart enough.
Michael, can you rephrase your question? What do you get as a dividend from GME? I don't understand. No entiendo la pregunta. Pregúntame otra vez, si puedes. Gracias. Three minutes to get your final questions in. And if we've got a world famous TikToker on here, Dan, should I do these live streams on TikTok? What is your opinion?
You could do both. That's the key. Do both.
Multi-stream?
Yep.
I should try that.
That's you've got your two audiences.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I've met the criteria to live stream on TikTok yet.
I think you've got to get 500 subscribers on TikTok, but it depends on the country. But it's really good.
I think I have about 5 subscribers on TikTok.
Yeah. We can do that. That's easy. But you can play music on TikTok. So you can put background music and play music, do all sorts on TikTok. But you've got to be careful with what you talk about in the sense of no politics, no religion, It's a bit more basic.
It really kills me that we can't play music on YouTube because, there's music really sets the mood for your day, and there's so many good songs that I'd like to share with you guys.
Exactly.
But they don't like that too much. They don't like that.
I mean, there's the flip side with YouTube is that you can sort of speak a bit more openly, to
a certain extent.
Yeah. Okay.
To a certain extent, I've seen some people that have political channels get taken down for saying the wrong thing,
really?
Which is why I try and steer away from it for the most part.
Fair enough. But TikTok is where everybody's hanging out, I think. And to do short bursts of videos of, you've seen my videos. They're like stupid 20-second stuff or a minute things.
I saw one that you had the other day. What's behind the shed? I was in suspense. Like, what's it going to be? What is it?
Yeah, but I only got like 400 viewers. But things like that, they either take off or they don't. So it's weird. TikTok is weird at the minute. A lot of people are complaining about TikTok from what I've investigated and had a look at. So it's a social media in general. You just don't know what's going to happen.
GameStop is closed, ladies and gentlemen, at $25.58.
Oh, yeah, market's closed. Right, I've made some more money.
Love to see it. Did you have any tickers you want to share with the audience, Dan?
No, you know what my tickers are, but nobody talks about them. It's like Way is my favourite. That always makes me money.
I see Michael's not providing any clarity on his question. He might have left. Richie Rich says October 7th, if GameStop was $35, would warrants be close to $2? It'd be $3. It should be $3 at a minimum, Richie, because you got $3 in the money, 35 minus 32, plus you have the time value, almost a year's worth, so they should be over $3.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, because I'm looking at just time value, running some calculations. What will they start trading at? If GameStop is at $25, what will they start trading at on October 7th? And I'm coming up with like $3 right now at $25. So I imagine the warrants will be worth more than $3, considerably more, if it were to open it, if the stock is trading at 32 on October 7th or 35.
Did you want me to sort of say a couple of tickers?
Yeah, let's put them up on the chart here real quick. What do you got?
Right, SYM.
S what?
SYM.
Synaptic?
Yep.
Synaptics? SYNA?
Symbiotic.
Oh, SYM.
Yep.
M as in might. Hello, might.
Yep, yeah.
$16 to 64. Holy smokes. That is beautiful, Dan.
There you go. That's one. Obviously, you got SoFi or Sophie or whatever.
Yeah, we love SoFi.
Yeah. SES.
SoFi broke through that upper supply zone. Take off the shackles, Dan. She's ready to run. What's the other one? SES?
Yep.
An AI company?
Yep.
20. I didn't know you were dabbling in those little penny stock AI companies. Did you buy some Railtown, Dan?
Not yet. I'm trying to buy somewhere in Austin.
I got to, now that the market's closed, I got to check the news here real quick. CSE Railtown. No news updates. God dang, man. Monday the 15th. It's been 7 months, Dan, that I've been waiting on. Well, I haven't been waiting on this ticker for 7 months. I've been waiting on it for a month. But I'm waiting on news. You already know the story on that.
Yep.
SES, 20 cents to $1.30. Another 6-bagger for Dan. What else you got?
Obviously, IMAX.
Obviously, IMAX. I own Dolby, not IMAX, but I think both are solid. Both are solid bets.
Yeah, I got Dolby as well.
Oh, look, I had an end of year 2026 price target of IMAX of $32. We're ahead of schedule by 15 months, Dan.
There you go.
You guys don't tell me I don't ever give you any tickers.
Exactly.
We already beat my fucking price target for IMAX.
This is why people need to join Tony's Discord, because you get to know this knowledge.
We just don't talk about it much on YouTube because nobody wants to listen unless it's a meme stock. But we got a lot of favorite tickers.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've lost on many of them, Dan. 1 or 2 maybe.
Yeah.
We don't get them all perfect, but we got a lot of big baggers. What else you got?
You've got Way, obviously, and then you got ARM.
Are you in that other crypto ticker that Dink and Anya have been playing?
No. I've stayed out of much of crypto. The only crypto I've got is, let me have a look, XRP. That's my only.
No, this is a stock ticker, but I don't recall what it is off the top of my head, and I haven't seen Dink or Anya in the chat here today to let us know.
Yeah. I've stayed out of crypto for a little while until the US government sort of like approved of cryptocurrency as a currency. It's going to be volatile.
This is my little OTC AI play, Railtown. It's 49 cents today, right in between the demand and supply zone. And I think that if we get good news, you're going to see a multi-bagger on this one. Stay tuned.
Right. Yeah, Waystar's just ticking along. Yeah, that's fine. That's ticking along.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Do we have any end of day GameStop news? Let me just. Super stock. No, we want investor relations. Nope, nothing new. BM&R. There's Dink. He woke up when we said his name. He's being quiet back in here, and quiet up in here today. Look at this one. Look at this one, Dan. We had a lot of people advocating for this in the Discord. $3, $6 to $161.
What?
Now trading at $53. I mean, come on. I got a lot of smart people in the Discord. I'm probably the dumbest one in there, Dan. You guys call out some good fucking tickers.
Yeah, they do. You can't buy them all, though. That's the thing.
We can't buy them all, but we like to what? We like to diversify. Get your little paws in a little bit of these. Use a little bit of common sense. Spread your risk around. Invest in companies that have a reasonable chance of moving up with reasonable financials, and man, you can sure sleep at night. I tell you what.
Yeah. We all share our information in the Discord.
A lot of people just like me. No nonsense. Call it like it is. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, we're going to say it's bad. And we have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Dan, I need to, my wife's going to work in a couple hours, so I need to go spend a little bit of time with her. She's on the night shift right now, overnight.
Okay.
So we got a weird schedule for the next couple months, but
I'll give you some feedback on the YouTube feed as well later.
All right, I look forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again to the supporters, to the haters. You're all loved. Have a blessed day.
A red candle down by the dip, gotta hold our ground. We've been waiting for so long, edges rain will soon be gone. A green candle up, a red candle down by the dip, gotta hold our ground. Edges down.